Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at a very wet Clarence Park, but no wetness from tears at Clarence Park from our point of view anyway. Saints made it 2 wins in a few days with a 2-0 win over Hemel Hempstead Town on Boxing Day. A great result, Ian. It looked like we might really have to fight for it early on when Hemel started the game by far the better of the two sides and Dean Sned kept us in it.
Yeah, you're right, David. I think first sort of 15-20 minutes they could have certainly had a couple of goals. Dean's made a couple of really good saves with his feet and his knees and kept us in the game, because if they score then I think it would have been a totally different game. But we weathered that storm and then we started to relax. I felt on the ball, we started to pass the ball better, and then we sort of got further up the pitch, and then we started to create some chances of our own, and we certainly could have had 2 or 3 goals just before the half-time period. Their keepers made, whether he knew much about it, 2 really good saves, one from Joe, and I'm not sure who got the header, it might have been Tom Bender, but both of them certainly hit him straight in the arm and the knee, I think. So, but no, we'll take that all day long. You know, we can't play brilliantly well like we did on Saturday and win every game of football.
It's funny, Hemel started how we did on Saturday, taking the game to the home side, and were you concerned early on?
Yeah, I was, because we didn't start sharp. I felt we were poor. As I said to you, our ball retention I felt was poor. We went from back to front too quickly, too early. I think we looked a little bit nervous, and it was a shame because Saturday I felt would have brought a lot of confidence back into the side. But I felt a lot of the players were hiding a little bit, and it was really condensed. The game was really condensed. I was shouting from the sidelines about stretching the game out a little bit, and once we started to do that, I felt we started to dictate the game, and went probably the last 15 minutes of the first half, and certainly, after the sending off, I felt we looked quite comfortable.
1-0 up at half time. What a fantastic goal. Joey Schifano's 4th goal in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, we know what he's about, as we've said all along. He's missed 6 weeks of the season. Not only losing him for 6 weeks of the season, it takes him probably another 2 or 3 weeks to get back. So for the lad to have the amount of goals he's got and still probably not been fully fit for the best part of 2 months has been outstanding. So full credit to him. But the goal, the run from Monash from his own 18-yard box and the final delivery, in terms of Joe taking it out of his feet and finishing it fantastically well, and then obviously Zane's again gone from the 18-yard box and travelled the whole length of the pitch and finished it extremely well. But that they were good parts of what we did. There was a few things in that first 15-20 minutes I didn't enjoy. I thought we gave the ball away cheaply, and as you say, if we'd have gone behind then it might have been a different game.
3 minutes into the second half, I think Freddie Grant got sent off. A foul was just in front of you. Any closer and he probably would have taken you out. You got a good view of it, I guess. You
can't leave the ground, David. We've said it all along. Our players are warned every game about being controlled in the tackles they do, and you don't leave the ground. If you leave your ground, you're in trouble. And I mean, I think Taylor's very fortunate. He's not had a serious injury there. He's rode the challenge. But as I say, the minute you leave the ground and go in 2-footed, you're in trouble. And the referee quite rightly gave a red card.
After that, were we a little bit too slow at times in our build-up? 10 against 11, your mind goes off it a little bit and you ease up?
I don't think we eased up. I think, as I said before, I still think there's a caution about the way we're doing things. We certainly don't move the ball quick enough in them sort of situations. And we've got good wide areas there to go and get the ball into, and I felt we just still kept going through their strength, which was through the middle. And there's loads of areas into the wide area. I think Scotty Shorten's had a shot when it's easier to get the ball wide. And there's 2 or 3 times we got in really good areas and went straight through the middle. When if we'd have got the ball into a wide area, we could have been crossing the ball behind their back 4 instead of playing in front of them. And they're the areas we have to keep working on. But as I say, there still might be a little bit of nervousness about what we're doing, when we're doing it, and not wanting to give the ball away. I mean, we've just had 2 clean sheets on the trot now to 2 teams in the top 6. So that's a credit, that's a bonus. But sometimes we're probably over-defending at the moment rather than over-attacking, but we have to do that to try and rebuild the confidence, repair the goals against column. So there is a reason why, but we have to be careful how we do that.
We all felt a lot more comfortable once we got that second goal, and what a great second goal it was by Zane Banton. He's been sent off in this fixture before, so he will have enjoyed it, and he could have got another great goal later on.
Yeah, I mean, his performances have been, I think it was a couple of saves on Saturday stopped him from scoring. So, but again, it was the way he travelled with the ball, and we know when he travels, and sometimes he doesn't do it enough for me. I think he gets in good areas and he's always turning back on himself, and we spoke to him over the last few weeks in training. He does that a hell of a lot, and that's what we want more of him in a game, to drive at people, because he's deceptively quick and he gets low gravity and he can unbalance defenders I felt that's what he did today. And if you go back to the goal he got against Wealdstone probably 3 years ago, where he did exactly the same. So he's got it in his locker. He needs to probably do it more than what he's doing it, but hopefully that today and what we've been working on in the last couple of weeks will help him in the next few weeks going forward.
You've got the two lads in on loan. Have you had a chance to talk to anyone at Stevenage and Luton about what happens in January?
I think I spoke to both of them this week. Really, we just got to wait and see where we are once we hit January. I mean, obviously Stevenage have got a new manager coming in now, so whether Jamie will be part of his squad going forward, we'll have to just wait and see on that one. And we'll see where we're with Frankie and Luton Town on, I think it's the 7th of January. They both finished. So we brought Michael Clark in, as we said, just in case that we did pick an injury up, or one of them got sent back, or one of them was taken back. But we'll have to just see where we are. But we've got good cover. We're not poor now in any area. Bringing Jefferson's been a major signing for me, because I think you see in 15 minutes there what a battering ram the bloke is, and all of a sudden he's starting to pin centre halves. He's starting to keep the ball for us, and he got us up the pitch by some of the stuff he'd done. So that was quite exciting from that side of it.
Yeah, that sort of caught me out. Well, I missed it on Christmas Eve. Was that just he came along and he decided to act quickly?
Well, no, because we had a 7-day approach from Braintree for Josh Allinson last Saturday. So with Sam Merson being injured and Albert having a few games with Ware, it left us really quite light in that area. And if Joe picked an injury up today, then we would be going into the Wealdstone game with James Klotsky as our only centre forward, which was not correct. So I've been speaking to Gary McCann at Hampton, and he said that Jefferson might be one of the players that will be available, and I just literally put a quick call into him on Sunday. Spoke to Jefferson at length on Sunday and again Monday, and thankfully he agreed to come and join us Monday night after he spoke to Hampton, and Hampton were brilliant on Tuesday because we had to get the signing done by 1 o'clock. So we met early, Jefferson really early, got the form signed and got it in just in time to get him to be available for today, which has been a massive bonus from where we are. As you say, he's a wealth of experience, but I've just watched the way he gets himself ready and behaves in terms of before the game and after the game, and you can still see why he's still playing at 40 years of age, because he looks after his body unbelievably well. He's an extremely fit man now, we should say, and he'll be a good signing for us in the next few weeks of the season. And after speaking with Gary at Hampton, Gary said that he turned their season around when he came in. He gave them the confidence to get further up the pitch, and he helped some of the younger lads, and he's been great for them in the first half of the season, so hopefully he can be the same for us in the second half of the season.
Another very experienced player, Ian, David Noble, had to sit it out today through injury. He's been in great form of late. What are his chances for the next 2 games?
Yeah, I mean, we could have played him today, but the crazy thing, if we'd have played him today, he would have definitely missed the next 2 games, so we've got to be careful that we don't overplay him. As we said, he's another 37-year-old, so he knows his own body, and his groins were still a little bit tender today from last Saturday. So it was only right to really give Scotty Shorten the position in midfield, and I felt after the first sort of 15-20 minutes he dictated a lot of our good play. So again, there's a chance he'll be fit for Saturday, but it's one of them we don't have to over risk him at the moment. But certainly, I say New Year's Day or the 4th, then I'd imagine that David will be fit. Ollie Sprague's groins were a little bit tender, and as was Taylor Miles. That's why you precaution taking him off. But I just think it was just sitting on the coach for nearly 4 hours, going to Weymouth, 4 hours coming back, and an unbelievable performance we put in there. That players are still a little bit tender from last weekend, but we're going into a really heavy period now, so we've got to make sure that we manage their minutes. We've got a half-decent squad. David DeHaju's there, Michael Clark's there, and we've got players there that can come in and fill in all over the place.
Well, with Taylor Miles coming off a bench Saturday for his first game in ages, Ben starting today, and Scott Shorten starting today, the squad, you've got quite a few choices.
Yeah, we have. As I said, we're just probably lighting the wide area, one wide area, but we've got Darren Fox out on loan as well at East Thurrock, so we might have to look to bring him back in the next sort of 7 to 10 days, just to balance up the side in terms of where we are. So, but he's had a 2-month loan spell at East Thurrock now, so he's got games under his belt. So he'll come back and be sharper than what he was when he left, which will be good from our point of view. So, as I say, we'll have a look at it. Let's just get Wealdstone out of the way, and then we can have a sort of 4 or 5 day break before we play Hemel, and then we go Hungerford. So we've got 3 massive games coming up now, and we don't want to undo the hard work that's been done over the last 2 or 3 weeks and the points we're picking up. So we have to just keep picking these points up, keep picking results up, and keep building the confidence.
Well, 5 games unbeaten now, 2 straight wins, 2 straight clean sheets, as you mentioned earlier. Not many people would have predicted this, and now we're up relegation places. It's not a bad end of year.
No, it's not. But again, as I said all along, I felt the change room. We've got a good change room. I think we've got a good squad, but we didn't perform to the level we should have done in that first half of the season. And the league tables don't lie. We've not been good enough. Defensively, we've not been good enough. Goals for, we've not been good enough, and that's why we were bottom of the table for the length of time we was. But hopefully, we've changed 1 or 2 things around. It's taken a lot longer than I expected to, but. We're slowly getting there, but as we've said before, you know, you're 1 or 2 wins away from climbing the table, or you're 1 or 2 wins from going back to the bottom of the table. So we've just got to keep doing what we're doing, worry about ourselves, and try and pick up as many points as we can over the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, if you want a measuring post how far we've come, away to the league leaders Saturday, don't come much tougher than that.
No, we know what that's going to be about, as you say, but for me that's a free hit. So we go there, we know we're expected to get beat. So let's go there and see what we can do and see if we can upset the apple cart there. So and then we go to Hemel, which is going to be tough because they're going to be hurting from what's happened today. So you know, the next 2 games we'll see what we can get, because as we said, we're a couple of wins away from climbing the league even further, or a couple of wins from dropping to the bottom of the table again. But we just keep picking up points as we go along. 22 points for this stage of the season isn't enough, so we have to get as many points as we can over the next couple of weeks.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. Right, a great few days for the club there, as was mentioned. We're going to look out the misty window here. Saints next in action on Saturday the 28th of December down at Grosvenor Vale, away to league leaders Wealdstone, the National League South. Of course, kick-off is at 3 p.m.